what's the one left field idea that you may have seen within culture or teams or psychology or youth or suicide prevention that's a bit left field but means quite a lot to you and you think it's a great idea?
I think what the thing I try and get across to people all the time, whether it's rugby coaching or any work environment, is mistakes are fine. I'd rather have a team of people trying to be positive, trying to do the right thing and making mistakes. Who's to say what a mistake is and what a mistake isn't sometimes? So rather than a team that is scared of making a mistake. So I guess the rugby analogy would be a team just doing 5 drives and a kick is maybe scared of making the mistake. Whereas I'd rather a team that threw that pass 10 times and yes, it hit the ground 2 or 3 times and would have created a try 3 or 4 times as well. So that sort of dynamic, because of the longer term impact of that in terms of, yes, the team that does the 5 drive and the kick might beat that team that makes a few mistakes on the day in a one-off game, but as a philosophy of enjoyment, identity, what type of team you are, you kind of back yourself to be like, do you know what, this is how we play. It won't be perfect all the time, but this is how we do. And then players have that feeling of, if I make a mistake, the coaches are going to try and remember the calls for it, because I was trying to do. You might ask me, what did you see there? Why did you think that passed it on? And you can say, oh, I saw this, and that's why I did it. Okay, right, no. So creating that culture. I don't know. The cricket at the moment is fascinating. The England cricket team, that they call it, people on the outside call it pass ball, but I believe that in the team they don't like it being called pass ball. But that element of a clarity of thought in terms of, you just do whatever you think is best to win this game for us. We will back you. If you whack it up in the air and it ends up being caught and everybody else says that's a terrible shot, that's okay. If you think that's the best thing to do in that moment, we will back you. So yeah, I think that sort of philosophy of just almost, it sounds silly to say embracing the mistake, but in life, I think the thing you fear the most is that you kind of attract it towards you. So if you spend your whole life being fearful of making a mistake, you're kind of more likely to make it anyway. If you walk downstairs terrified of falling, you're much more likely to stumble than if you just walk downstairs without thinking of it. So yeah, I think that, and it's difficult in sport at times, as we've just been talking in a grand final, to come into that philosophy of, let's just throw the ball around, go to manner if we get beat. That's really difficult, hard to take on that one thing. But if you can look at the overall philosophy of it and say, it's a bit like the teams that I think Brisbane used to do, where they said, look, we're never going to take a penalty goal. We're going to back ourselves to wear the team down, to dominate the team. And we're going to say, we're better than you. We think we can score more often than not by attacking. I'm sure there were some games that you look back and you think, oh, they lost that by 2. If they kicked those 2 penalty goals, they would have won. But doing maybe other games where you don't even know, is because they've scored 3 tries from times when they've turned down 3 penalty goals and they won that way. So just that feeling, having that philosophy of, yeah, we might make a few mistakes, but this is us, this is how we play. We'll back ourselves in the long term to be better.
And again, to use that an organisation-wide philosophy, that you're backing people, giving them support, and if they make a mistake, that's human.
Yeah.
But empowering them to actually go out and play what you see and deal with the situation.
Yeah.
Because you can't control everything.
And ultimately as well, you become much more coachable then. Say, whether I'm managing a team of youth workers or coaching a rugby league team, if they don't make any decision, I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know how good they are. Like, if they're constantly coming to me saying, should I do this, should I do that, should I do that, I'm not finding it out about them. If they go and make a decision to run a certain project or speak to a young person that way, now I've got something to work with. Now I can say, okay, why did you speak to them like that? Why did you challenge that? Have you thought about doing this? And then they can get better. If they're constantly not doing anything, yes, they might make less mistakes technically, but they're not going to progress. They're not going to get any better. So yeah, I think that always rather, if we're managing a team, I'd always rather they just did something